Buenas noches. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode 4 of The King's Crypto, a video series I am making about faith meeting your finances. If you are new here or returning and you haven't seen the first 3 videos, you gotta stop watching this one, press pause, and go start with the preamble, episode 1. In that video, I talk about how some people are poor. All that they have in this life is money, and how God has invited you to have true riches that are only found in Him. If you do not have that foundational understanding, that context first and foremost, none of these videos will benefit you. In episode 2, I cover the first half of the bull run, and I give testimonies of how God specifically shared with me in the morning times of prayer what the cryptocurrency markets were going to do. You know, if God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, the wealth in every mine, and the gold and the silver are His, and if He instructs us to not lean on our own understanding, but trust in the Lord with all your heart. Seek Him for direction. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. That means all your ways. And so for me, I've been acknowledging the Lord and seeking Him how to steward the finances or whatever else I have correctly. And this is what this video series is covering. So video 2 was the first half of the bull market. Video 3, I do a deep dive into Terra Luna Classic, and I specifically share so many words of knowledge and discourses that the Lord has spoken to me about this coin because it's such a strong conviction play that I truly believe Christians ought to own. Nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm going to say that many times. You are fully responsible for yourself. You are called to have a sound mind, to apply wisdom to whatever you do. You should be sensible. I am just a dude on YouTube sharing his walk with Christ. So not a financial advisor. Let's be clear about that. In today's video, we're going to pick up where we left off and cover the second half of this bull run. I also want to call a quick timeout and say thank you so much to those of you who have partnered with this ministry. I've mentioned this before, but in about 1 month's time, I'll be moving somewhere new. We need a whole bunch of new equipment. I've put up the equity for it so far, and collectively, you guys have fundraised about 53% of that. So if you haven't given, if you have any interest in sharing in the kingdom equity, the impact, and partnering with me, what we're going to do, check out the links in the description below. But thank you so much to those of you who have helped me finance this ministry. All right, that's the intro. Let's get into it. In episode 3, we covered content that you can't see on the screen. It's this big arrow right here having to do with lung dreams and words. Fast forwarding now, we're going to cover March 23rd and onwards. One morning in prayer, I heard the Lord say to me, Bitcoin is going to go up. And literally that day, a couple hours later, we saw the total to market cap go up about 7%. And over the next 3 to 4 weeks, the entire market gained about 17%. In that time that happened, the Lord had confirmed that word to me several other times. But a really fun story that happened is I was watching the professor, who's a basketball player. He's a street ball player, the short little white guy who's amazing at basketball. And one night when I went to bed, I saw a vision of him playing basketball, crossing over, putting the ball back and forth, side to side, super fast. But instead of it being a ball, it was a Bitcoin. And I was like, Lord, I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to show me here or tell me. I looked at the charts. I'm like, maybe he's just telling me this is what Bitcoin's been doing. It's been choppy, up and down, side to side. However, about 2 days after I shared that dream publicly, in a single day, in less than 24 hours, Bitcoin went up 10%, down 10%, and back up 10%, all within 1 day. And I instantly knew that this was like a confirmation of what God was telling me. We literally just saw Bitcoin cross over and fake people out left and right. And that was just a fun little story in that time, and that happened around April 9th, I think, April 10th. So now we're going to discuss a word of knowledge that I received 2 days in a row that I don't really like to revisit. Not that I got it wrong, but I definitely got the interpretation of the timing wrong, or the impression of it. But right here on April 12th to the 14th-ish, Ethereum went on kind of a pretty parabolic fast run up, and everyone was paying attention to Ethereum. On 2 different days in a row, I heard the Lord say to me something about Ethereum. The first day, I got this impression of Ethereum and then this price number of 3,000. I was like, Lord, I feel like you're telling me Ethereum's going to go to 3,000. On the next day, I heard the Lord say, yes, Ethereum, one more time, and heard him say 3,300. And then I got this play on words where it says, the Lord holdeth. I was like, what are you saying? Like, the Lord holdeth. Who uses this old English term holdeth? And while I was making a video, live recording, it clicked, oh, he's using a play on words here. The Lord hold ETH, like hold Ethereum. When I released that video, I was like, the Lord said it's going to go to 3,000, and actually it's going to go to 3,300. When you zoom out, first and foremost, you don't have to be a prophet or anything like that to understand that Ethereum will go to 3,300 at some point. That's not even, near its all-time highs in the past. But it had this feeling around it that he was saying like it was going to happen today or tomorrow. And I mentioned that in some of these videos, when you receive a dream or vision, sometimes it feels like God is saying right now. Especially when you have a dream, sometimes your emotions can be so lively. It can feel so real that it feels like God is telling you something that's going to happen imminent, when in fact, some of these things do take weeks, months, even years to play out. Additionally, the Israelites, when they left Egypt, that journey to the promised land should have only taken 12 days, but it took 40 years. And sometimes that's because God wants to get you out of Egypt and he wants to get Egypt out of you. So thankfully, mostly all of these prophetic words have come to pass very soon, within weeks or months, and sometimes days and hours. This Ethereum one, still waiting on it though. And I don't even own Ethereum, but for me, I care more about my accuracy in listening to God and hearing from him correctly. So that's why I'm waiting on this. I did say, hey, be patient. This thing could correct. It could take a little bit of time. But here's what I want to say though. The Lord said the Lord holdeth. And when you look at the charts thereafter, crypto kind of got pretty boring for a long time thereafter. I mean, we didn't really resume the bull market for another, if I get out the date and calendar here, April 16th all the way to kind of like early October. So that's almost half a year. And so that was the Lord's instruction though. He said holdeth, meaning this is a time and a season to hold. So we held, and guess what happened while holding? This is absolutely incredible. At pretty much like the rock bottom of that month and a half long drawdown period. June 14th, somewhere around there, I have on my notes, in prayer one morning, I heard the Lord say to me, XRP. And I was like, what are you saying? And he goes, now is a great time to buy it. I was like, okay, I released that on this channel. Guess what happened exactly 1 month? If I'm not mistaken here, it was 1 month to the day after I got that word. XRP won the lawsuit. I don't have the XRP price chart pulled up in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it went from something like 40 cents up to a little bit over $1. And that was all within 30 days of getting that prophetic word. So that's just another amazing testimony of how when you have a secret relationship with Jesus Christ, the secret place is where you get secrets. So he told me 1 month beforehand, now is a great time to buy XRP. And literally 1 month later, XRP won the lawsuit and went on this parabolic spike. Shortly after that, I was in somewhere in Europe, I think in France. On a bus, I heard this word Aladdin, magic carpet ride. And I was like, what? I looked at my friend. I wanted to tell him, but I didn't want that to sound weird because I don't know. But I was just like, what is this? Aladdin magic carpet ride. And next thing you know, we saw crypto go up over the next couple of days, 17%. But what was really interesting about that is soon after I released that Aladdin magic carpet ride word, BlackRock began to make a lot of noise, a lot of sound, a lot of bullish sentiment in the markets towards crypto. Specifically, I found out that they use this computing system, an AI called Aladdin, which refers to assets, liabilities, all these economic terms that make up the word Aladdin. I had no idea of that. But God told me Aladdin, magic carpet ride. And shortly after, we heard all about this BlackRock news with their Aladdin computing system pushing the narrative of Bitcoin and crypto. So following this Aladdin magic carpet ride word, we did see crypto go up maybe 20%. And things kind of got boring for a little bit of time there. I was not making videos. I was still hearing from the Lord, but not putting the notes on this chart. A couple of months went by, and this is the next loud, audacious prophetic word that I heard towards the end of September, early October. Sometimes God gives me a play on words. Build a bear, which basically means get ready for a bear market move. I know that might sound ridiculous to some of you, but it's happened a lot. That happened on the end of September, early October, and that was right before Israel was attacked. So the markets responded pretty negatively to that attack. We saw the overall crypto market take a big correction, a deep dive that week, and the Lord had warned me about that. That was a bad week for Israel. It was a bad week for crypto. When I was given a heads up on that correction, though, I was expecting God to tell me when to buy, and I didn't really hear anything. So I kind of missed that chance, and I ended up repurchasing at the same levels that I had, built the bear position at, which goes to show that this is not necessarily a flawless technique. Okay. I'm still learning this navigation of faith meeting finances. He did, however, give me an incredible prophetic word about XRP when you look at the timing of this. This was right around October 12th, like Friday the 13th or Thursday the 12th, somewhere in that time place at the bottom of this bear market move as a result of Israel being invaded. On like the perfect day to buy, I heard the Lord say to me, XRP, loud and clear. And when you look at the XRP charts of what happened after that, it's remarkable. So let's just take note of this day and we'll change the charts. October 12th. So like I previously mentioned, I was not really putting out that much crypto content at this time. I also didn't post this in my Telegram like I normally would, throw some stuff in there. By the way, free Telegram in the link below. I will never message you. If anybody reaches out to you on WhatsApp, those are scammers. But you're just going to have to trust me on this one. This is what the Lord told me, even though I didn't publicly document it. That was October 12th, the perfect day to buy XRP right here. And then XRP went on a really big run up 60%. 60% in how much time is that? 1 month. Over the next month, it went up 60%. So I guess God did tell me like when to buy at the bottom. He just kind of specifically told me what to buy. And I definitely know there's people out there who are like, wow, if you've got this magic ball called God that tells you what the market's going to do, how come you're not retired in the Bahamas? Well, a couple reasons. Number one, this stuff still takes faith. You know, I'm a human being and I can and have gotten things wrong before, and I don't want to get anything wrong. Lastly, I'm not working with massive buttloads of money. But as I said in the previous video, if you are, feel free to contribute to the studio equipment for more of these videos. All this to be said is that our journey with God is just that. It's a journey. It takes time, and He wants to build your faith, not your bank account. So I'm going through the potter's wheel process of this, and I'm documenting the journey along the way. I did make a little bit of money off of that XRP position. Could I, should I, would I have done more in hindsight? Yes. And do I say that a lot? Yes, sometimes. But the point is that none of this is about me. None of this is about, look at my walk with God. What this is about is telling you that if you can hang out with Jesus and if you have a hunger to hear His word, to learn how to hear His voice, to discern His voice, He'll show you these things. When you trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. All right. When you seek Him, He will direct your paths. And this is just trying to prove all of that to those of you who are watching, that God is real and He cares about you and He wants to help you. So jumping back to the charts, we have pretty much 2 more prophetic words to cover. Right here was around my birthday, 11/11. I heard the Lord say to me this, top 10 right now. And I knew exactly what He was referring to. The night before, I had a conversation with my brother. We were out and about just talking about crypto markets. And I was basically saying that there's a lot of cryptocurrencies, big top 10 players, you know, your blue chips that haven't really seen the massive pumps yet that Solana has or Avalanche have. A lot of the market hasn't caught up yet. And so I was like, one of the sensible things that I'm considering doing or other people can do is just simply to build their own little mini ETF, like diversify whatever they have between the top 10 cryptocurrencies and just sit it, set it, forget it, wait till your waitress at Denny's starts talking about crypto and then you know it's a good time to sell, something of that nature. So we were having that conversation one night. The next morning I woke up, I'm pretty sure it was on my birthday that I heard this word. I heard the Lord say to me, top 10 right now. And I knew that He was referring to exactly what I just said. I still had a little bit of powder on the side and the Lord was telling me, deploy it. Okay, so I did it. And that was a tough thing to do. That also required faith because hindsight's 2020. You know, right now the total 2 market cap is way up here. But back then it just had a pretty big run up. And so I'm like, man, I got to trust the Lord that this thing can and will keep going. It did go sideways for 2 or 3 weeks. But then we have seen in this last 2 to 3 weeks, Bitcoin, crypto, your top 10 altcoins as a whole really begin to take off. As previously stated, my goal with these videos is to make them bite-sized so that you can listen to 10 to 15 or 20 minutes at a go. And that's probably going to be the conclusion of this video today. What I want to talk about, and I don't know how I'm going to arrange it all, but I want to cover a lot of just individual coins and compile them into one video soon as well. There definitely deserves to be a video on Shiba Inu because this is another one of those examples of how God is going to take the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. When I first heard Shiba, when I heard people saying that it's going to go to $1 or the 10 cent range, the 20 cent range, I thought that was absolutely ludicrous and stupid. And even now I'm still like, that's so stupid and dumb. But I received dreams, visions, and words about it multiple times where God did show me that that is actually going to happen. That sounds wild. I don't like putting that out on this internet because that's so bizarre, but I'm going to make a video coming soon with that, as well as I want to talk about Cardano, how God gave me a word to buy it back when it was in the 30-cent range, and Cardano's been going on a pretty good run. There's a lot of different words that I want to cover. I don't know that I can cover absolutely everything, but please like and subscribe. All that wonderful things. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time. Now, lastly, I'll leave you with one golden nugget. I know a lot of people just left because I said please like and subscribe. They thought the video was done, but if you're still watching this, I put this in my Telegram. There's a link to it in the description below. As I mentioned, I will never message you. Those are scammers. But maybe 3 weeks ago, when HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, was in that like 5-cent range, I had a vision in the morning of this thing going straight up to like 17, 18, 19 cents, somewhere in that ballpark. 3 weeks have gone by. It hasn't done much at all. It's now officially up to 8 cents. So in the last week, it has really gained. I'm up on the position. I would encourage you to pray about it, think about it, understand that it has gone from 5 cents to 8 cents. So that's already a pretty big jump. It might correct, but what I'm just trying to say is this is not financial advice. That's just something else that I'm investing in. I do believe that this thing's going to go to at least 14, 15 cents, and I'll probably begin to take the profits from that range upwards. Maybe that helps you out. Maybe it doesn't. You are completely responsible for yourself. Thanks for watching this video.